Dude, we are seriously eating with this adaptation. Hey guys, it's K2 again, looking back once again on the new episode of Hell's Paradise. I gotta say, man, I wasn't really fully sure if I was going to make this a series, but you guys absolutely 100% showed your support and love for my last video regarding this series, so thank you so much for that. Instead of focusing on reviewing the entire episode, scene by scene, shot by shot, I thought instead I'd mostly just give you my overall thoughts and tell you what I think of the theming and the changes that they have made for each episode, as some parts do differ from the manga. Now, as I said last week, today's episode primarily focuses on Saigiri Asaemon, giving a little bit more background to her character and understanding what she goes through as she commits to her role as an executioner. From a very young age, Saigiri was ostracized and humiliated by the kids in her village for being a member of the Yamada clan, because it didn't really matter if you were a man or a woman. If you were a member of the Yamada clan, it was your destiny to be a killer. And on top of all the nagging and ostracizing by the people in her village, she also had this immense pressure put on her because her father was probably one of, if not the best executioners in her clan. And so Saigiri would live her entire life trying to live up to what her father was. But of course, because nobody is perfect, she had some complications. The truth is that Saigiri really does want to be just like her father in being perfect at her craft and giving people painless deaths just like he did, but she's held back by the fear that is deep within her core. And it's this fear that ultimately causes her to fail. No matter how good her cuts look and appear to anyone that is watching, she knows deep down that she is giving her victims painful deaths because a fear-filled blade is not going to let someone go in peace. It's going to make them suffer. And all those victims that she failed to execute properly forever haunt her soul. And this is all reflected perfectly in the sword that she carries. This episode perfectly emphasizes the weight of someone's life and how it affects a person who has to take one. Gabimaru, who used to be such a ruthless killer, now hesitates to even so much as lay a hand on someone without a second thought. After every single one of the other criminals within his group or collection or whatever is ordered to thin each other out so that they might be sent off to this island with the proper number of retainers, he alone stands perfectly still, never harming a single soul until he is threatened by someone. He doesn't want to kill anymore, because avoiding unnecessary killing is perfectly normal, don't you think? Of course, after he does kill his victims, Gabimaru is ridden with this built-in sorrow, this feeling that he didn't really know about until he had married this wonderful woman who taught him about compassion and that killing needlessly really is not a good idea. Saigiri really does take Gabimaru's words to heart this time around. She sees that he feels regret for his actions in taking these lives, and it's because of this that she learns that she doesn't need more strength to take these lives, but rather the resolve to bear the weight of the lives that she takes. This, my friends, is how you do storytelling. Other than that though, the messages of this episode are pretty much non-existent. We get introduced to a lot of the cast that we're going to be seeing in these next few episodes. Of course, everyone's probably already picked out a couple of favorites like Yuzuriha, Chobe, Tamiya, and lots more. These next few episodes are going to be absolutely wild. It's going to blow your minds. Other than everything I just said, I don't have a ton to add to the conversation this time around. It really was more of a setup for a particular character rather than the plot progressing, but this next episode is going to be action-packed, filled to the brim, so much blood and carnage, it's going to be great. The animation for this episode was slightly lacking in some parts, but I do believe overall it was a spectacular episode. I am also a tiny bit concerned with the pacing because this episode once again only covered one chapter, and we are supposed to get a decent chunk into the plot in these 13 episodes, so there's obviously going to be some more cuts and such in the future, and when those happen, I will be sure to inform you of those cuts in the next episode or whenever they happen. Until next time, my friends, I'll see you later.